Hello everybody. We're now going to start doing something a little bit different to what we've normally done before. We've now come to realize that just how important social media, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and all these other platforms are to when you're running a business. So we're going to try and move into the 21st century and get on board with it. Although I am not the best at doing this, and I really am not a fay at doing it, but I'll try my best, and I'll try and get better as we go along, as this will be my first time ever I've done this, and I'm sure you'll let me know if I get better or worse. Please do. Anyway, I'm going to put this video out, and we're going to call it pre-Japan video, if you like. Just a little explanation into what we're up to this year when we go to Japan, when we go, etc., etc., farms we're going to visit, what we're looking for, etc., etc. So this is now Sunday the 26th of January. We go tomorrow morning the 27th of January. And just the same as most years, what we've done for many years now, we'll be going down south and mainly visiting the three breeders that we've done for many years now, which is Okawa, Ogata, and Ueno. The main reason we've done this for many, many years is I was always a firm believer that if we can keep it to the least amount of breeders that we purchase from, that has got to limit any potential issues that may arise. That said, many of you will have noticed last year that we did branch out and purchase from a few different breeders, which we are going to do again this year, but we're going to keep it still to limited numbers so we can still have some sort of control and keep an eye on where we purchase koi from, making it hopefully safer for you and obviously for us. So that's the plan going forward. So by no means what koi you see us buy on this trip. You will see us purchase more probably around the middle of March, when a lot of the, I think, better jumbo tosai get released by the breeders. So that's what we'll be purchasing. And again, we will have a couple of really good breeders koi available at the BKKS. Like we did last year, the Hoshikin went down very well. We hope to have some more Hoshikin, but we're going to have another breeder as well, which I am not going to say too much about at this time, just in case it doesn't come off, but we are working behind the scenes to try and make this happen. So watch this space. Back to the Japan trip we're currently going on. As I said, we leave tomorrow morning, and we will be going again to Okawa, and this trip's like no other trip, like all the other trips, should I say. It's a trip that we always look forward to. Being a koi dealer, this is what we love to do. Go out, select koi. This is why we got into this. This is why we love doing what we're doing. So it's the pinnacle of this job. As many of you will know, for the last, must be nearly 20 years, I've been going out there with Neil from Koi, and although this trip it's always exciting because you never know quite what you're going to see when you get out there, but this year it's tinged with just a little bit of sadness because Neil has decided to retire and has sold his business, and unfortunately for me, because obviously I will miss him on the trips, but obviously he'll look at it as lucky for him that he's now retired and he can enjoy a happy and long, healthy retirement, hopefully. He sold his business and to a guy called Merrick Kane, who will be on this buying trip, and it will be his first trip as a dealer for his business. So you're bound to see and hear more of him in the future. But going back to Neil, yes, he's still coming out on this trip with us because, and rightly so, he's going to take the new owner of his business to meet the breeders and explain exactly that this is the new guy running Dot Koi, etc., etc., etc. And yeah, we will miss him greatly out there. I mean, we've been going so long and it's worked so well. Myself and Neil know each other so well. We know exactly, you know, what koi we're going to be looking for and picking. And it's been a pleasure for all these years to select koi alongside him. And to be honest, Neil, along with myself, were probably so instrumental in bringing and making Okawa Shiro Atzuri available uh, to everybody in the UK. Because when we first went back there many years ago now, over 10 years I guess it was, we saw these Shiro Atzuris at Okawa, and both myself and Neil thought, wow, these are really, really good. And the price was good, but the quality for these were fabulous. So we were probably, yeah, I think we were the first to start bringing them into the UK. And at first, we could see the potential in them, and a few customers could. But I believe a lot of people were poo-pooing them, saying that they weren't. You can only buy koi from certain breeders, this breeder or that breeder. And every year me and Neil stuck by it, and we're buying more and more, and the quality was just improving so much year on year, to the point now where I firmly believe that a lot of hobbyists believe it's the go-to place to get a Shiro Atzuri, either Ginrin or normal, and at a price that suits their pocket. So I guess you know, Neil can retire happily knowing that he was part of that trip. And yeah, so we both enjoyed that journey with Okawa Koi Farm. Back to the trip we're going on. We are, a lot of people ask us, you know, exactly what's involved, you know, how many flights, how long does it take, etc., etc. Well, it does take a long time to get there, even longer now, obviously, since the invasion of Ukraine. Flights are much, much longer now. But we will leave here tomorrow morning, possibly 7 o'clock. We then head off to Norwich Airport, where we have a flight leaving at 9:15 over to Schiphol in the Netherlands. Whereas then we've got a 3 or 3.5 hour wait before our connecting flight to take us to Tokyo Narita, which I believe at the minute is 14 hours, 14.5 hours. We've then got a 4-hour stay at Narita Airport before we catch our last connecting flight, which will take us down to Fukuoka, which takes approximately 2 hours. Once through luggage, and we've claimed our luggage and through all the rest of it, obviously we'll stop and get a cup of coffee. That's number one. That's going to be needed by then. Then we'll jump into a taxi and we'll head off to Hikata Station. There we'll go to the ticket office, and we'll get our Shinkansen tickets, which will take us to Kurumi, which is where we're going to be based for the whole week. The station hotel, which very handily is about 5-10 minute walk once you get off the Shinkansen, and then we can relax and go out for something to eat. We are there, but it's going to be well over 30 hours before we get there and on the go. So it is a long day. What we've got planned for that week is the first day we're going to go and see Yuji and Yonichi Tanaka. They're brothers that run and own the Okawa Koi Farm. We'll be there selecting through all their tosai. Then what we will be doing on, that's Wednesday, that will be. Thursday, Friday, we will be at the Ogata Koi Farm. Again, first day probably going through all their very small koi, from normal grade right up to their sort of the best quality baby koi they have, and they're the ones we generally select. The second day there we will be going through his better koi house, where we'll be looking at the jumbo tosai. Again, we hope to purchase many, but obviously you can, you can never tell what's going to be there. As many of you know, I mean, myself and Neil have been going to Ogata for 20 years, but all of a sudden in the last 2 years, it seems that it's on every dealer's radar, and they're all trying to obtain these koi, which I don't blame them, because Ogata for many years has produced very, very saleable, good to high quality koi. And now with his breeding program, in the early days, obviously he never used to breed as many varieties as for himself. He used to obviously bring these in, but I think now from memory, when I was last talking to Ogata-san, he now breeds in excess of 21 varieties himself. So it is kind of a one-stop shop to get many, many varieties. We'll also, whilst we're on the Ogata Koi farm, the second day, we'll be taking that opportunity along with Manabu Ogata, who owns Ogata Koi farm. We will be looking at our Azakari Koi, customers' Azakari Koi, sitting down with Ogata-san to decide, can some stay for shows, some for Azakari. We'll decide which ones to ship. We'll make all these decisions once we sit down with Manabu and discuss this. So that's the second day done at Ogata. Then on the Saturday, we're going to go and see Ueno-san, Ueno Corn Farm. Again, this is a fabulous farm to visit. Ueno-san is such a gentleman, really, really nice. You get that personal touch when you're on his farm. There's never a hurry. It's really just how I like to do things. But the ones, you just never know what you're going to buy. You never know what you're going to get. Last year we went down there, we didn't end up buying any small tosai, but we stumbled across these absolutely amazing small Nisai Achiba that he'd bred, and so we selected a load of them, and they were absolutely fabulous. So we were so pleased to get them, and there's always something we'll come away with. Then after that, we always leave one day, because generally we'll either go back to see Yuji at Okawa Koi Farm, make some last minute purchases that we've already previously looked at, or if we've managed to sell any of the koi, we may go back and then go through another pond and select some more. We'll just leave that day open like that, but generally speaking, that will be another day that we go back to see Okawa Koi Farm. So that concludes that Japan trip. But as said earlier on in the video, we are now spreading our wings a little bit, and we are working with an agent who is primarily purchasing and looking at koi for us in the north. It will only be selected breeders, but this will give us the opportunity to bring some of them varieties that unfortunately we just can't get down south, especially in numbers. Down south, a lot of the farms down there is primarily Gosanki. Ogata's different, but even still, certain varieties, there are very, very limited numbers, and if you're not on the farm that week and somebody else has been and selected, you can miss out. It's that easy. You can never get it quite right with the timing. So we will be bringing you other varieties from other breeders in Japan. These will be selected around about middle of March. We tend to try and purchase them that time because I feel it's getting very, very close to their last selections before they put their tatigoi into their mud ponds. So you're going to get the jumbo tosai, and hopefully of the best quality. We'll bring you more news on that as and when we get the breeders that we're going to try and purchase from sorted. So watch this space, and we'll put videos out on all our social media when we've got them. We hope to have these again at some of these at the BKKS National Koi Show. We're also trying to do another breeder's koi there, which I'm not going to say too much about at the moment, just in case it doesn't come off, but I think you'll all like these. Apart from that, again, this coming year, we did set up an auction site. We only used it the once last year. It's been completed about 2 years, this website, but for one reason or another, busy, we just didn't get time to utilize it quite how we liked. But this year, excuse me, we are going to put that into full swing, and we're going to be using it a lot more. So keep an eye out for that. And on this auction website, it will be very, very good quality koi. We're not going to try and put them out there as something they are not or something they are. We're just going to put an honest description as to what we think the koi is, and they will be very, very competitively priced on the auction. So please do sign up to our auction website. It's a great way of getting involved, great bit of fun, and you can bag a koi at a really, really good bargain price. Other ways to find out what we're doing whilst we're in Japan: you can follow us on Facebook, either our main page, or we have a Coastal Koi members page, which all you've got to do is ask to sign up for that, and we'll let you in. We will put things out on Instagram, Twitter not so much now, unfortunately, but TikTok we're on as well. But if you want to get in touch with us or keep up to date with what we're doing, certainly Facebook and on our Japan blog on our website will be the main ways of keeping in touch with us and seeing what we're doing. If, when you're watching this, there is a koi that you're looking for, you can always give me an email, a message on Messenger as to what you're looking for, and we can have a quick discussion as to what sort of budget you have, and then we can always try and help you that way. When we're in Japan, if you see any of the bowls of koi that we put on the social media, some of them will be available to reserve. But please bear in mind, on some of the larger koi, it's difficult to give an absolute accurate price because we really won't know what the shipping costs will be involved until we shipped and what the breeder deems best to put in each box. But we can always give you an approximate price guide, which we've done for many years, and it seems to suit most. Well, I hope our first video came across all right. I will try and get better on future ones that we do. We will hopefully be putting some more out whilst in Japan. We'll give it a few days before we do, but once we're out there, get sorted, we'll try and put some more content together for you guys. Please, if you get time, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're going to try and grow it this year, and everybody who likes it and subscribed, it will just help the channel grow, let more people see it, and that's what we're aiming to do. We've also, just a quick one before I disappear, we're going to have a couple of manufacturers of different products do just a couple of videos with these guys. We thought it'd be quite nice just so that you can hear from the, I don't know, from the people themselves, just how these products became available, what was the idea behind it, how they got the idea of doing it, such and such. So over the course of the next coming year, watch out for these videos. They'll be quite interesting because we can have some in-depth conversations with these. We may even put out, before these interviews happen, just so if there's any questions that you want answering, we can put to them whilst we're having a chat with them. So I think it'll be something good going forward for 2025. Apart from that, it's now 7:10 on Sunday evening. I will wrap this up because I've got to finish packing. I've got cameras and everything on charge in the house, and it's going to be an early night for an early rise. And thanks for taking the time for watching, and we'll speak again to you all when we're in Japan. Goodbye.